Hello, good people. Welcome to Tuesday night Qigong, or really whenever you're watching it. This happens to be Tuesday, December 15th, 6 p.m. on the dot right now. At this moment, I'm presenting this, but you could be catching this at another time. And grateful for whenever you're catching this. This practice is a Qigong practice that has been inspired and is based on the Qigong practice that comes from China. Been practiced for thousands of years. So the practice I'll be doing tonight will be syncing movement with the breath. So we can shift from doing to just being, shifting from stress to more relaxation, cultivating our energy, which is what Qigong means. Qi, Qi means energy. Gong, spelled Gong, means to cultivate, to work with. So we'll be working with our energy tonight. So thanks again for joining along. I'll be your facilitator. My name is Craig. I'm teaching this class for almost 2 years. Wow, time is flying. So thanks again for participating. I'll give a quick breakdown of what's going to happen tonight, a little breakdown of the agenda. So for those who are new, wondering what this class is about, it's about a 55-minute practice. The first few minutes is just me talking and letting people know what's going on. But for this class, about the 5-minute mark, we'll begin preparing for the Qigong practice, which is called aligning the three treasures. And that's where we check in with our body, notice and align our breath, and check in with our mind, focus our attention. So that's aligning the three treasures. And then after that, we'll go into the 5 standard introductory movements, 4 flowing movements and shaking. And that pretty much leads us to the second half of class. And then we'll move into tapping and massaging, then some more flowing movements, and then I'll end it on a standing meditation. And I'll be performing this class standing, but you can do it laying down. I think most of the movements that I'll be doing tonight will be able to be modified so you can do it laying down, seated down. So I want to make sure this type of class is accessible for everyone. So thanks again for joining along. We're going to start this class in a moment. For those who are watching this live, if you have any questions, you can provide feedback or questions into the comments, and I will make sure to get to them. So thanks again. Thanks for taking this time for yourself to explore this Qigong practice, or just take time to take care of yourself. Since this is for self-care, this is for healing, this is for listening to yourself. So let's begin. And before we jump into aligning the 3 treasures, and the first treasure being body, let's just notice our environment. Want to make sure you have enough space to move around. Be moving, stepping out forward, stepping out to the side, making sure you have enough space for your arms. Be reaching overhead. Just taking this time to make sure your environment's working for you right now. And along with that, just noticing your environment. If you'd like to, just allowing your eyes to just wander for just a moment, just looking around and just taking in any sound. Bringing awareness to touch, how your feet connect to the ground, what surface you're connecting to, your hands. And let's begin aligning these 3 treasures. Let's start with the body. We've been doing a little bit of it. So here you go. Always grateful for your comments and see good people. So let's begin. Let's align the 3 treasures. And we can do so if you're standing by bringing the feet together, noticing how that feels. So feet are together, feet flat on the ground, pointing forward, just noticing. And let's shift the weight into one foot. Step out with the other. So you're now about hip width, shoulder width apart, and the feet are parallel. Feet are facing forward, or it can be toes slightly pointed outwards. Whatever allows you to feel comfortable. The key thing for this practice is that you're comfortable. It's not about performance. It's not about repetitions. It's about listening to yourself, seeing what feels good, knowing that you have healing energy and the ability to shift your state. So let's continue aligning the rest of the body. So you notice the feet flat on the ground, noticing the four corners of the feet connecting to the earth, and even feel if you're sinking into the earth. And you have that strong connection. You know that you're supported by this earth. And let's check in with the knees. Knees are nice and soft. And if you'd like, you can lock and gently unlock your knees. Let's check in with the pelvis. Pubic bone is tilted up, so that means the tailbone pointed downwards. Sacrum is tucked underneath the spine. That levels the pelvic bowl. Arms are relaxed, hanging down by the side. Chest is open. Palms are turned towards the body. Fingers can be spread apart. Slight bend in the elbows. And the reason why we keep a bend in the joints is to allow energy to move freely and to put less stress on the joints. Let us check in with the neck and the shoulders. If you notice any tension in those areas, see if you can just bring awareness, kindness, and see if you can soften those areas. You tend to carry a lot of tension there. I'll actually be doing tension releasing exercises for those areas later in the practice. And let's bring our attention, our awareness to the head. And let's imagine that there's a string coming down from the sky to the top of the head. It connects to the top of the head. And that string pulls you upright, yet you're relaxed. You're hanging from that string. Yet your spine is upright. You are tall. And just noticing how that feels. And let's check back in with the head and the face. Let's check back in with the jaw and the brow. Notice if you're carrying any tightness, tension there. See if you can soften and release that tension. Checking in with the mouth. Mouth can be in the form of a smile, just whatever allows you to be comfortable. Eyes can be at a half gaze. As for the placement of the tongue, again, whatever feels good for you, but a recommendation is having the tongue connect to the roof of the mouth. And the tip of the tongue can be touching the back of the two front teeth. All right. And that is it for aligning the body. Let's move into aligning the breath. I'll keep this practice simple. Simple recommendations. You can engage in that natural breathing, but a suggestion, the type of breathing we generally engage for this Qigong practice is called Dantian breathing, also known as belly breathing, diaphragmatic breathing. And I'll demonstrate. I will bring my hand to the abdomen. And on an inhale, as I take in a deep breath, as the lungs fill with air, the abdomen expands, and as I exhale, as the abdomen softens, the lungs empty of air. So inhale, lungs fill, abdomen expands, exhale, lungs empty, abdomen contracts. This type of breathing just allows us to shift into more of a relaxation, more of a healing, because it stimulates the parasympathetic nervous system. All right, now that we have aligned the body and the breath, let us move into aligning the mind. One of my favorite gestures I like to do, and you can follow along if this feels good for you, is just a practice that helps us align and just notice our states and our awareness and what we tend to focus on. So I'm gonna marry you, and I'll be marrying you throughout the entire practice. And thus noted, I'm gonna bring up the left hand. This will be your left hand. And the left hand will represent the past. Let's bring up the right hand. The right hand representing the future. And we don't have control of either the past or the future. that's okay. What we do have the ability to control, where we do have our power, is the present. So let's bring our hands close together, but not touching, and just observe that space in between the hands, which represents the present. And that's where we want to be. That's where we'll be doing these movements from the present, the here and now. So let's set an intention to be in the here and now. And we'll find ourselves thinking, becoming distracted, and shifting out of the present. And that's okay. See if you can just come back to the movement, to the breath, to sensations, feelings, or just what you're noticing in this present moment in your environment. And now that we have done that gesture to align the mind, let's begin this practice. Let's allow the hands to flow down. And now that just dangling down by the side, we're going to begin the first gesture, full body breathing. So we're going to inhale, the hands up towards the sky from the body. Hands pointing up, exhale. Hands release and flow down by the sides. And we're now going to restart this movement. So inhale, hands back up towards the sky. Lungs fill with air, and exhale, hands out by the side. Yeah, appreciate the comments. Good to hear from everyone. As always, this is your practice. Modify it for yourself. You have different capacities, different limitations. This practice is for you. And as a suggestion, see how it feels to slow down, especially the exhale. You can extend the exhale. That tends to stimulate the parasympathetic nervous system even more, which allows us to feel safe and relaxed. Let's do one more repetition in this direction, and then we will reverse the movement. So now we're going to reverse the movement. We're now going to inhale the hands up by the side. And exhale the hands down from the body. Noticing how that feels. Noticing where your awareness is right now. As always, noticing what feels good for you. Let's do 2 more repetitions of this movement, going at your own pace. And this will be my final repetition of this movement. We can just allow the hands to just flow and then just be relaxed, hanging down by the side. We can just notice that. And now I'll transition to the next movement. Bring the hands below the lower dantian or by the lower dantian, hands by the waist. Palms are turned up. Fingers point toward each other. A little space in between. Let's just say like a fist around the space. And let's begin this next movement. We're going to inhale, hands up to about chest height, heart height. Turn the palms over Exhaling, allow the hands to flow down. And then restarting the movement. Turning palms up. Inhale, fill the lungs with air. Turn the palms over, exhaling. Letting the lungs empty. Noticing how that feels. Inhale. Exhale. As you're noticing this movement, what do you feel in your hands? What do you notice with your breath? Do you notice how your feet are connected to the ground? Do any visualizations come up for you? Bringing awareness to your experience in the present moment. I'll do 2 more repetitions. Then we'll transition to the heart opening gesture. This will be my final repetition. And in order to transition, we're going to inhale the hands back up to the heart. This time we're going to have our fingers pointing up while imagine that we're holding a ball between our hands. And it could be real, energy, just whatever comes to your mind when you hear the word holding a ball. What do you feel? What do you sense? Just be with that for a brief moment before we transition to the next exercise. All right, let's extend the hands out from the chest, slight bend the elbows. And let's begin. We're going to inhale and spread apart. Chest opens up and you can look up toward the sky. And exhale, looking back forward. Bring the hands back in front of the chest, close but not touching. Let's restart this movement. Inhale, open up, look up. Feel the stretch. Exhale, look forward. Bring hands back close together. Inhale. Open. Feel the expansion. Exhale, release, relax. Exhale. Inhale, allow the hands to trail the arms. Exhale. Let's do this 2 more times at our own pace and speed. Inhale, open. Open your heart. Exhale. This will be my final repetition. Inhale, open again. Exhale. Let's bring our hands, again, still extended, slight bend the elbows, but we're still back to holding that ball between the hands, between the palms, noticing what you sense, noticing what you're connecting to, noticing what you feel. And we're going to transition to the next gesture, flowing motion. We're going to do that by turning the palms towards the chest. We're going to now inhale the hands in towards the chest. And once the hands get close, we're not going to allow them to touch the chest. We're just going to allow them to trace down the torso. And we're going to swivel the palms around. And eventually turn up. We're going to inhale. Hands up to shoulder height. Turn the palms down. Exhaling. Allow the hands to flow down. And you can let the hands flow down past the body, past the legs. Restarting the movement. Inhale. Hands float up. Turn the palms over. Exhaling. Letting the hands being assisted by gravity just glide down. And there are several variations for this movement. I'm just going to do a couple. I'll stick with rising and sinking for the first variation. Actually, I'll do three variations. I'll do rising and sinking, shifting weight forward and backwards, and then moving from side to side. As always, this is your practice. Stick with what works for you. You can follow along, but again, trust yourself. Listen to your body's wisdom and intuition. Your body knows what it needs to heal and relax. Let's move into the first variation. So when you find yourself exhaling and the palms are flowing down, you can sink, slight bend in the knees and the hips. Just lower the torso close to the ground. On the inhale, rise back up, upright. Exhale, sink. And you remain upright as you sink. Inhale, up. Exhale, sink. Again, noticing your awareness. As you're sinking, do you feel the weight greater in your feet? Feel that connection to the earth. As you're rising, you feel that energy rise up into noticing what you sense. I'll transition into the next variation, which is shifting weight on the bottom of the feet. So I'll just take a brief pause. And let's begin. Inhaling, the hands up, and as you're inhaling, hands up, feet flat on the ground, we're going to shift the weight to the front of the foot. Turn the palms over, exhaling, shifting the weight to the back of the foot, more into the heel. Inhale, shift the weight to the front of the foot, more into the toes and the ball of the foot. Exhaling, weight is in the back of the foot. And if you're following along with this variation, feet are flat on the ground. You're just noticing as you shift weight front to back, back to front. Do 2 more repetitions of this variation. This will be my final repetition. Then I'll transition from moving side to side, and I'll just move right into it. So on the inhale, bring the left foot to the right foot. Now on the exhale, left foot steps away from right foot. So inhale, right foot to left foot. Exhale, right foot steps away from left. And noticing what feels good for you. Stick with the movement that shares you, that allows you to be present. You can incorporate other variations into this movement. Maybe on the exhale, you want to sink down. Inhale, rise back up. If you want to make this a balanced practice, you can keep the weight primarily in one leg. You can even lift up one leg as you're on the inhale. What would feel good for you right now? I'm going to do 2 more repetitions, 1 more pass for each leg. That is it. I'm going to transition to shaking in just a moment. Just noticing what you feel. Checking in with your joints, checking in with your wrists, your knees, elbows, shoulders, your neck, just seeing how they feel right now. So we're going to get a little bit loose. We're going to transition to shaking, spontaneous Qigong. If you already know it, you move right into it. If you want to start slowly and gently, you start with wriggling fingers, your thumb. You can start shaking the hands gently, lightly. And you can let that move into your arms, into your torso, head, into your waist, legs, knees, ankles and feet. You can have the whole body moving, bouncing, vibrating in any way that feels good for you. Again, it could be really light, really gentle. Could be doing a rag the dog, moving hip side to side. Or it could be more intense. Maybe you're pumping the heels. Maybe you're jumping up and down. Whatever feels good for you. Shaking has been observed in animals as a way to release stress and tension. And this is true. Stress gets stored in the body. We do need ways of releasing it. Movement. It's a way of releasing stress. And if you like, another way of releasing stress is audibly, vocally, letting out a sound. So if you like, you can follow along and do breathing breaths. That's where we release noise, sound, audibly. Be taking deep breaths on the exhale, just let out whatever feels good for us. I'm going to do 3. I am in an apartment complex. I want to be mindful of my neighbors. So I'm going to do size, but do what feels good for you. Do what you have space to do. And we can begin. So when I say inhale, taking a deep breath, and on the exhale, let out a sound that serves you. Let's start. Inhale. Let's do 2 more. Second one, inhale. Okay, last one, inhale. All right, we've been shaking for a while. Let's finish off the shaking practice. Let's bring the hands out to the side, reaching out to the horizon. Let's bring the hands overhead. Let's bring the hands out front of ourselves. Let's bring the hands behind ourselves. If you like, you can have the fingers pointed down, reaching down towards the ground. And if you're even able, you can have that slight bend, getting close to the ground, to earth energy, yin energy. And for the next 15 seconds, just whatever way you want to shake. High vibration shake, slower shake. Because in the next 10 seconds, we're just going to begin to slow down. Bring our shaking practice to a close. And we will take some time to be with that shaking, to be with the energy we've cultivated, released, moved around in a way that serves you. So if you're able to, you can turn inwards, you can feel what energy you sense, be with the sensations. If that's too much, you find that easy to be with. Notice your environment. Take time to become acquainted with what you taste, touch, sense with your eyes, hear. You can even sway. Whatever allows you to be in the present moment. If it feels good, you can bring your hands to the body. We'll just continue this practice, just being with ourselves for the next 30 seconds. And then we'll transition to the second half of class. That second half, we'll start with some tapping. Yeah, let's just be for the next 20 seconds. Or you can slide your hands if they were connected to your body, just allow them to be released and float down, hanging down by the side. And just noticing how you feel. Checking in, bringing awareness to your feet. That connects into the ground. Checking in with your hands, noticing how they feel. And let's begin doing some tapping. If you're able to follow along with tapping, I'm just going to tap along the arms, the chest, and the lower back and the legs. Tapping tends to bring up stuff. You can use massaging instead. Again, it's all about listening to yourself, doing what works for you. So I'm going to begin tapping, starting with the chest. I'll use soft fists, but you can use your fingertips. You can use the whole palm of your hands, whatever feels good. Just going to begin tapping the chest, starting at the sternum, just moving out, moving back in. And you just move up and down. And I'm going to begin tapping down the arms. I'll start with the right arm. I'll start from neck and shoulder. Open the palm. I'm just going to go down, tapping down the inner arm. And I'll tap up the outer arm. Do this 2 more times for a total of 3 times. All right, let's transition to the left arm. So I'll start tapping the chest again. With the right hand, I'll start up from the neck, the shoulder, and I'll open the left palm up. And we can start tapping down the inner arm, tapping up the outer arm. Do this again 2 more times for a total of 3 times. Just 1 more repetition, final repetition for me. All right. The place we can tap is the side of the body underneath the arm. So we'll lift up the right hand. Just tap underneath by the armpit, just tapping there. And let's just begin just tapping down the side of the body to the waist, and just starting back from the armpit, just going down. And we'll do this one last time for a total of 3 times, then we'll move to the other side. So bringing up the left hand, right hand, taps on the knee. Just going down by the side to the waist, bring the hand back up. And one more time for a total of 3 times. All right, just noticing how you feel. And we're gonna move to tapping the lower back. So if you like, you can make soft fists or just use the palm of your hands. Tapping the lower back, tapping the kidneys. And what we'll do, we'll start from the kidneys from the lower back, and we'll tap back down the back of the legs, and we're gonna tap up the inner legs. So just begin. Tapping down the back of the legs, tapping the front of the foot, and tapping up the inner legs. And you can circle around the waist. Do that 2 more times at your own pace. All right, there we go for tapping. And that will be the tapping portion of this class. Let's move into some more Qigong exercises. I have a few more in moving spinal warming exercises. So let's move into classic favorite, knocking on the temple door, knocking on heavenly gates, also knocking on the temple gong, also known as spinal twisting. So with the feet planted on the ground, we're just going to turn at the waist and just allow the arms to flow and follow. So the core leads the movement, and the arms follow. And when you're ready, it feels good. Allow the hands to tap the body. Front hand taps the lower abdomen, back hand taps the lower back. And you just want to imagine that you're headed on a swivel, just turning at the axis from right to left. We'll do this for a few more passes, then we'll transition to waterways where you just allow the hands to flow off. And imagine that our hands are moving through water, through current. We'll do that in just one moment. So just allow the hands to just release and let go off the body. And now just allow your palms to just flow in one direction. Just imagine that your hands are in the water. And you can feel the water as you're still turning from right to left. Noticing what you feel, bringing your awareness and tension in your fingers and your hands. And you're just sensing the water flowing through your fingers. And if there's a breathing pattern that serves you in this moment, just taking that in. We'll do this for 2 more passes, 1 more pass on each side, and you can end as you're turning towards the left side. You can just allow the hands to be relaxed down by the side. Just noticing how that feels. All right. Let's move into another gesture. But in just a moment, let's just take time to embrace the pauses and the spaces in between each gesture. one more movement for the spine. We can do spinal cord breathing. So what we're going to do is allow the wrist to just float up. And then it's going to open. You can make soft fist open. Chest slightly arch the upper back. And on the exhale, just bring the elbows together, round the back. Tailbone tucks in. Chest tucks towards the chest. Then inhale, open up the arms. Palms face out. Chest is open. Feel that arch. And exhale. Bring the hands together. Tuck in. Inhale, open. Exhale, release. Chin tucks in. Let's do this 2 more times. Inhale. Exhale. And this will be my final repetition. Inhale. Exhale. And what we can do to transition to the next gesture is to inhale again, reach up towards the sky. Palms are facing out. Realize you can't really see this well. See if I can take a step back. I'll lower my hands a little bit. And what we'll do is we're going to do movement tiger claw. And right now we're going to just inhale. Then exhale, just going to allow the hands to flow down, palms facing out in front of the body. If you want to add a slight bend, as the hands make it past the waist, palms are just going to turn towards us. So we're going to inhale, the hands up. Turn the palms out when they're over the head. Exhale. If you'd like, you can make claws. Just going down. Inhale, draw the hands up. Soft. Relax from the body. Open the hands out. Make claws. Exhale. Slow down. Inhale up. Exhale out. Down. Let's do this 2 more times. And this is my final repetition. I'll end this repetition when the hands flow down past the waist. So I won't bring them back up over the shoulders. We can just allow the hands, the arms to just hang, be relaxed down by the sides. Just noticing how we feel after that. And you know what, I'll continue with the animal theme. I'll do the gesture that has become a favorite of mine called bear swimming in the ocean. Or just bear swimming, big bear swimming. And I'll try to incorporate one other animal. I know I've been doing lots of crane movements the past couple of classes, and I think I'll find a way to transition that into the next gesture after that. So let's begin. Let's start with our hands in front of the dantian, or just beneath the navel. Palms are turned up. We're going to inhale the hands up, chest height, elbows are out. Exhale, fingers point out, and we're just going to press the hands forward, as if we're doing an offering. Going to inhale, turn the palms down. Bring the hands out to the side. Exhale, allow the hands to flow down. And if you'd like, if it feels comfortable, you can sit down. We're going to be starting the movement. Palms turn up. Inhale. The hands in front of the body. Exhale, the hands out. Making that offering. Fingers pointed out. Hands move forward. Flip the palms over. Inhale, the hands out to the side. Exhale, release. Allow the hands to flow down. You can sink down. And you've got the movement going at your own pace and speed. Let's do 2 more repetitions. This will be my final repetition. As always, thanks for the support, good people. All right. And before we transition to the next gesture, again, let's just take some time to just be. Next gesture will just be a simple crane, bird flying gesture. But just want to, again, take time for us to just be here, noticing that we're here. We're here in the present, that we have great aliveness, health, and power inside each of ourselves. And we're taking time to cultivate, to work with, to be with that. So before we transition to that next gesture, let's bring our hands, prayer hands, from the chest. If you'd like, you can take some time to follow along and doing it. Deep breaths, and on the exhale, letting out a sigh. But just take this time, this moment to, again, acknowledge that you're connecting with yourself, connecting with your energy, connecting with your power and your ability to shift your state. And I'm just going to use the next couple of seconds to do a couple deep breaths and sighs. So if you'd like to follow on, go ahead and do that too. So let's inhale together. Inhale. Exhale. And let's do one more. Inhale. All right. So allow the hands to flow down. Let's transition to that crane bird flying movement. And it's just simple exercise. You can, with the arms relaxed, hanging down by the side, you can allow the hands, the wrist to just draw up by the side. Slight bend the elbows. Exhale, turn palms down. Flow down. Inhale. And exhale. You're just doing that. If you want to expand the movement, that is up to you. You can reach your hands higher if that feels comfortable. We're just being with the simple movement of inhaling and up. Exhale, hands down. Just noticing how it feels. Just do this syncing the breath with the movement. Let's do this 3 more times, own pace and speed. This is the final repetition. Now let's transition to another bird movement. Big bird learns to fly. And this is movement where we're going to start with the palms facing down. The hands are going to move up and down in front of the torso. So we're going to inhale. Hands draw up. Exhale. Hands flow down. But this is going to involve the hips. So as you inhale, as the hands draw up, hips draw in. As you exhale, as the hands flow down, hips can draw back. If it's easier just to focus on the hand movement, you can do that. So inhale, hands up. Hips draw in, exhale. Hands flow down, hips draw back. So there's a wave motion happening with the hips as you're doing this gesture. We'll do this 2 more times after this pass. Always going at your own pace and speed, observing what your needs are, how your body is communicating, connecting. This is my last repetition. All right. Just noticing how that feels. Before we transition to the next gesture, again, just noticing. If you'd like, you can wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Noticing your connection to the earth, to the ground, to yin energy. If you like, you can do a gesture or return the palm up. Inhale, reach up towards the sky. Just noticing that connection to the sky. To yang energy, just reaching up and just noticing what you feel in your hands. This also just allows you to be in the present moment. Then you can just exhale, turn your palms down. Allow the flow, allow the hands to just flow down. And that's just one simple exercise, one simple noticing awareness experience. Let's move into a favorite of mine, cloud hands. I always like doing cloud hands. So we'll shift our weight into the right foot. We're going to bring our left hand up over to the right side, about chest height. Palm is turned toward yourselves. Right hand comes up about waist height, palm facing down. And we're just going to imagine that our hands are clouds moving through the sky. And we're going to turn at the waist, turning towards the left, shifting the weight into the left foot. And as we make it over to the left side, we're going to turn the palm, allow it to drop. We're going to raise up the right hand, palm turned towards us. And now we're going to turn it back towards the right side, turning at the waist, shift the weight into the right foot. And we're going to switch the position of the hands. Right hand drops down, palm facing down. Inhale, left hand up, palm facing towards ourselves. And just noticing what you feel, noticing your experience. Imagine the hands are clouds moving through the sky. You can imagine the bottom hand could be the shadow of the cloud, or it could be tracing water. Whatever allows you to be here, to be present with yourself. If you're able, noticing your connection to the ground, noticing the shifting of weight from one side to the other. We're going to do this for 2 more passes for each side. And we will end this movement as we're coming back to the right side. So this will be my final repetition. And when you're all set, you just allow the hands to just flow down. Arms turn down, releasing, relaxing, hanging down by their respective sides. Again, just noticing how you feel. We're almost at the end of our practice. We have a few minutes left. I want to make sure I take some time to do that standing meditation I promised to do earlier in class. So I'm just going to do the traditional hugging a tree, embracing a tree, standing meditation. And we'll do that for, it looks like we have like a minute or 2 minutes. We can do that for 2 minutes. So here's how we can do that. So with our arms relaxed down by our sides, we're going to do the standing meditation for 2 minutes. We're going to bring our hands in front of the body. We're just going to allow the hands to be drawn up by the wrists. Then we're going to turn the fingers, point towards each other. A little space in between, let's say half a foot. The elbows will drop down, shoulders are soft, and you just imagine that you have your arms around the tree. So the arms are making more of a circular shape. And we're just going to be in this posture for 2 minutes. Now, 1 minute and 45 seconds. But let's just be here. Standing meditation is foundational for Qigong and Qigong. It's just a great way to just be noticing your senses, seeing if you notice any tightness, tension anywhere, seeing if you can soften, relax, release. As you're doing this movement, you notice, even though you are still, that there's still movement happening at the same time. So I have 1 more minute to go. Again, just noticing your awareness. Where is your attention? And if you find yourself becoming distracted or thinking, just come back to the present moment in a kind and gentle way. Got about 30 seconds to go. Again, if you notice intense tightness or tension, that's a bit too much for your shoulders and your joints, you can always lower your hands back down, or lower your hands down and bring them back up, whatever allows you to listen to yourself, because Qigong is about health and wellness. All right, we got 10 seconds. And you can turn your palms down, allow them to release, draw back towards the side. And we're going to close this practice. We're going to return to the position we started in. We'll do that with clearing and drawing down the heavens. So, turn the palms out. We're going to inhale, circle the palms up. As we're circling the palms up, we're going to bring the left foot to the right foot. As the hands make it overhead, we're going to turn the palms toward ourselves. We're going to exhale. Allow the hands to flow down from the torso, or flow down from the body. And we're going to restart this movement without moving the legs. So inhale the hands up, palms facing towards the sky. When the hands are overhead, turn the palms to face you. Then exhale, taking in that energy, whatever would serve you for the rest of your day. This will be a final repetition on my end, just doing 3. Inhale, hands up. Bending elbows out, allowing the hands to flow down, palms facing down from the body. Taking in what you need. And to completely close this practice, I will not be mirroring you at this moment. We're going to combine yin and yang. So I'm going to bring up my right hand. You can bring up your own right hand. And this is going to represent yang energy. It's going to represent daylight, sun, and so many more things. I'll keep it simple and short. I'm going to bring up my own left hand, palm facing up. This will represent yin energy, moonlight, nighttime. Again, so many more things. We're going to combine yin and yang, harmony, balance, bringing both hands to the center, left over right. And let's take a bow for ourselves. And I bow to all those who have come and allowed me to be your facilitator tonight. And as always, I want to thank Darren John, Trevo, Found Qigong, this great community, lots of great teachers and inspiring people. And again, I want to thank you. Thanks again for checking out this practice. Hopefully it served you, served your well-being and your ability to be the best version of yourself. So thanks again. Until next time, take care, be well, and live well. Have a good day or night.